All right, what's on the bench today? It's a funny thing. I found these on Alibaba and bought one for $4. This translates to Capacitor Discharge Pen, and it has little pogo pens over here. So if it's a discharging circuit, so you bring it up to a capacitor and put it across its leads. You can change the spacing of these things, and a little pogo pen. So it discharges, has an LED when it's discharging, and so it says here on the back that 8 to 450 volts AC and 10 to 650 volts DC. So that's what that is. It uses an FET as the drain, as the load for the discharge, but it has a bunch of other circuitry. So I believe I reverse engineered this fairly closely. This is what I think's going on. Let me back out a bit here. Yeah, there we go. Something to point with. So you can hook it up forwards and backwards. It doesn't care because it uses a bridge. So that's nice. You don't have to make sure it's in the right way. It automatically detects that and makes it the right way around. This circuit here just has a couple diode drops, and that has a fixed voltage across these two, and then you can run the LED across that. So no matter what voltage you're running your thing on, the voltage between these two things is always the same. No matter if it's extra 100 volts or whatever, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be about, 2 volts or something like that here. And 100 ohms and an LED, this thing will light if there's enough current going through that thing. Then I believe this is the discharge circuit. It uses an N-channel FET, and it's biased on. So if this transistor wasn't there, this resistor here, 200K, would turn this guy on all the time. And so you would be going through a 7.5 ohm resistor, and that's what your discharge rate would be. Now that might be too much though. If you're up at 400 volts, this still might be too much current. So it has the circuit in it. If the current across this 7.5 ohm resistor gets too big, this transistor will turn off, and then it will turn off this transistor. So this is a feedback loop here. So if this turns on at 0.75 volts and this is 7.5 ohms, then you have 100 milliamps. So this thing would regulate at about 100 milliamps and wouldn't ever get bigger than that. So yeah, that's about the circuit. You get all of this for $4. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think we should go. We should go try it out. Let me show you a photograph here of a close-up of it, just in case you're curious what all the parts are on the thing. So let's try it out. So I have a 47 microfarad capacitor here. It's good to 400 volts. I'm going to be charging it up to 100 volts, and then we will discharge it. Currently, you see it's sitting here at 46 volts. I'm monitoring the voltage on the capacitor, so it's kind of died down to 45 volts while I've been getting ready for the video. So here's a 1K resistor, so I can charge it up. There we go. We've charged it to 100 volts. That didn't take too long. So you can see it's starting to discharge now because capacitors leak. So let's keep charging it here to 100 volts, see if it can see. Yeah, there we go. It's holding it a little bit farther. There's a saturation and a bunch of other chemicals that happen inside capacitors. We'll just let it charge here for a second. Okay, we're at 100 volts. Let's come along and discharge it with our fancy tool. And the LED blinked for a short second, and now we're down to 4 volts. So this thing works a treat. Let's do that again. We'll charge it up to 100 volts. Here we go. Let's get really good 100 volts on it. Okay, then we'll come along with our discharging tool, and bang, we're done. The other thing that we can do is we can charge this thing up to 100 volts, and then let me actually put the power supply right across the capacitor, and then I'll move this over to milliamps so we can measure milliamps. And let's go ahead and put this on here. You can see the LED stays lit because we're discharging a constant current, and it looks like it's at 20 milliamps here. That's interesting. I'm not sure exactly how accurate this is. Let's try that with a different power supply. Again, we're going to take off our power supply, and we will discharge the capacitor and make it safe. All right, let's try a different power supply. This one's only good to 29 volts, but we can charge it up. Okay, charged up here to 29 volts. And it is this one here. And let me put that discharging circuit on there. And it looks like it's about 80 milliamps there, 0.8, no, yeah, 0.8 milliamps, 0.08 milliamps, so it's 80 milliamps there. That's interesting. Let's put an actual current meter on and see exactly what this thing is doing. We can use this meter here. Let's see, take that off, take this off. Okay, let's change this over to milliamps. And we'll go to, yeah, it's going to complain to me. Yeah, I'm going to measure milliamps. Thank you. All right, we'll go here, ground. We'll go to one side of this, of the thing here. And can you see that? Make sure it's not glaring on anybody. We want to go to the positive side, and there we go. 69 milliamps, so that's closer to the value I thought it should be. I thought it 70 milliamps. Yeah, I thought it should be somewhere around 100 milliamps, but I'm not exactly sure how the circuit worked. But with that 7.5 ohm resistor in there, it should have been somewhere around 100. But yeah, it seems like it's around 70, and we sort of got 80 with 1-digit resolution on the other power supply. So I think I need to calibrate this one for milliamps. I don't think it's measuring correctly, but yeah, it goes to about 70 milliamps, so that's what this thing discharges to. And like I said, it's kind of has a feedback onto it, so it doesn't ever go above that discharge current. I had not seen these things before, and for $4, I think it's a great addition to your arsenal. Great way to keep yourself safe. Go around and make sure you discharge all the capacitors before you work on stuff. And yeah, I mean, $4, shoot, can't build it for that.